I would just come on here and talk about some stuff. I mean, has anything really happened since the last time I did a video? Kidding. Let's see. I have gotten lots and lots of messages about lots and lots of different subjects, so I figured I would just come on here and talk about them all. As you can see in the title, you know, you've got Daniel Bryan. We'll finally talk about Evan Bourne, NXT, and yes, Bill and Doug, who I've not talked about in eons, it seems. And, you know, nothing wrong with that. But let's start with Daniel Bryan, because everyone and their brother has kept wanting me to comment on Daniel Bryan. What do I think of the Daniel Bryan, Michael Cole angle? I've liked it. I haven't wanted to comment on it because I didn't know where they were going to go with it, because we've seen them do all these weird things with Daniel Bryan, and we've seen lots of strange things happen, and we've seen them stop, go, and all this stuff, and I wasn't really confident that they would do everything that needed to be done, so I was waiting to see before I commented, and it kind of came to a head on Raw, which was a very good Raw, by the way, and we finally got Daniel Bryan and The Miz in the ring in a 2-minute match. Not so sure about that, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe they'll do something. And then we've got, you know, Miz getting thrown into Michael Cole, which that was pretty good, and Cole healing it up the whole time. Cole has been an awesome heel, and honestly, I think he would make a much better on-screen character than an announcer, because he's not a very good announcer. But anyways, unless he's doing the whole, you know, just shooting from the hip, burying Daniel Bryan, burying internet fans thing, which I'll get back into that in a minute. But I think the angle has gone pretty well. I think it's done what you would expect, so there you go. And speaking of Raw, you know, after Over the Limit, I think it's called Over. I think the pay-per-view is called Over the Limit. Don't even really remember. I said that because of all the injuries and everything, that next Raw was probably going to be very, very interesting. Well, that was a week off. It was this Raw, in which we saw the Daniel Bryan thing. We saw the Samoans, you know, not just they didn't debut, but we finally, you know, they got on the mic. And I must be honest, when they started talking, I literally thought to myself, you broke up Crime Time because of this. And literally I did. And that's no knock against them. It's more of a thing of Crime Time was probably one of the most over tag teams WWE's had in, I don't know, probably since, you know, you had Team 3D and Edge and Christian and that whole, you know, the Hardys and that whole thing. Not saying they were over as much as them, but saying that they're probably the one tag team that's been over as much as any of them. And it kind of just, you know, then they never used them right. It was kind of like, ooh, look, they got over. Isn't that cute? Type of thing. And never really seemed to play out well, and that always kind of bothered me. But we've got them. We've got the Samoans now, and they look like they might be better in the ring, so that's good. But we got them to kind of start up, and of course we got the Hart Foundation. That should be a good feud. And of course the big thing on Raw was that Evan Bourne got elevated in a major way. Not only did he get elevated, they started to show out him and Edge. Ended the show, Cena said he had a mystery partner, you know, because Orton got hurt, and you know, basically said that, you know, Sheamus and Edge, everybody in the locker room hated he could pick anybody, but he picked Evan Bourne. It's kind of like, okay, this is a little weird. And then, you know, Evan Bourne went out there, you know, Cena gave the spotlight to him, made it look like, you know, this is my partner, this guy belongs in the ring with me. Sheamus and Edge did the exact same thing. It made him look like, you know, this guy is good enough to be in the ring with us. Elevated him. Of course, he went over the Chosen One, Sheamus. And went off really without a hitch and looked really well. We'll have to wait till, you know, next week to see if they follow up or what they do. But it was definitely interesting, definitely fun. I think Raw overall was a lot of fun. And of course, then tonight we had NXT, which I'll talk about just because it was the season finale of NXT. Of course, we're going to get next season next week. And let's see, what all did we get? We got the debut of the next group of rookies, which none of them really impressed me very much. I guess Hennig kind of did. I've seen kind of his stuff, but definitely Cabal, low-key, is the one that I think most people are going to see. Though putting him with Michelle McCool and Layla is a bit odd. Could be a train wreck. Could be a fun train wreck to watch. Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. I do wonder if Michael Cole is going to heal up on Cabal a bit, since, you know, low-key and being that him and Danielson are kind of along the same lines. It'd be interesting if he heals up on Cabal kind of the same way he did with Bryan Danielson, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Of course, the big thing on the night was who was going to win. The right guy won, which was Wade Barrett. I definitely thought that, particularly I would say after week 2, because I really didn't think that Danielson needed to win. I think someone else needed to win, and Wade Barrett winning to me was made the most sense. The guy looks good. He's big. He's agile. He can go if need be at this part. I mean, he's not bad. He just doesn't have the experience yet. He's good on the mic. He looks good. He basically has everything WWE looks for, and in a good way. Not in that, oh my God, here's the generic, WWE type guy. Because he's definitely not that. He definitely stands out. You look at him and go, wow, this guy looks like he could be the real deal. And I think that's a good thing. So him winning, definitely think was a good thing, as opposed to Otunga, who, I don't think anyone wanted to see. I don't think anyone kind of believed in. And I definitely think Wade Barrett really could be, really could be something in the future. And he does get that, title shot, whatever that means, at a pay-per-view. So we'll have to wait and see what that means as well. But anyways, there is that. And of course, Bill and Doug made a video for the first time in, 6 months maybe. And the video was basically them talking about TNA. It's gotten a ton of views, which is good. It got retweeted, tweeted on Twitter to Dixie's, Twitter account about 1 billion times, which is good. The whole thing is good. It's not like they said anything that I haven't said or anyone else hasn't said in probably 3 years. But maybe it will get back to TNA. Maybe there will be some good out of it. I don't know. Maybe that's just hoping, and it is a lot of hope, because I really don't know if they really care at this point what anyone else thinks. I think they live in this little cocoon and they don't really care. But there was nothing really that they said on the video that I thought was just horrendous. There was things I didn't agree with, but that's just always going to be the case. Even if you agree with someone's point, there might be other little points that you just don't agree with. But that was kind of the case there. Was more just kind of frustrated with some of the comments. Particularly, they sound like a bunch of smarts. Wrestling companies shouldn't listen to these guys. They're a bunch of smarts. They don't know the business. They don't know what makes money. La da 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 da. And while I agree that you don't want to necessarily 100% listen to the fans, but if the fans are your critics, and in pro wrestling they are your critics, and the fans keep, saying the same things, and then people within the business are saying the same things that the fans are saying, maybe you need to listen to what the fans are saying. I'm not saying that you have to listen to them all the time. I mean, we have fans on here that, think that the WWE should get rid of, John Cena, that Triple H shouldn't, and a lot of people probably be amazed that I would say this. You have people that think that, Triple H, should never win another title again. Both of those comments are complete rubbish, crap. The idea is to make money. The idea is to feature guys that will make money. And my problem with Triple H is not that he doesn't make money, not that he doesn't deserve the spot he's in. It's nothing like that. It just happens to be that I don't think that he does enough to elevate other guys and make other guys look good, and I think that hurts the overall product. That's my problem with him. Not that he doesn't deserve a spot, not that he's not good in the ring, none of those things. And I think, and John Cena is a great and amazing draw, and I think anyone that doesn't see that is just kind of fooling themselves. So, you don't want to listen to the fans to that extent, but I do think that sometimes you do need to listen to them, and you do need to hear what they're saying, and you do need to understand what they're saying, and take the criticism and say, well, is what the fans saying, can we implement it, and will it make business, and will it make money? And if it would, then I don't see why you wouldn't do it. So that would be the only really thing that I would say along those lines. That, I really do think the pro wrestling business I think they have this, I think the people in the business have this mentality of you cannot listen to the internet fans whatsoever, because they're 100% wrong 100% all the time, and or that they don't know what they're talking about, so we can't listen to them, which I think is like a complete 180, and so much of a 180 that it's almost the exact same problem that the comic book industry, get kind of geeky, got into, where all they did was listen to the diehard fans and the comic book geeks and the the guys that all they did was hung out in the comic book stores, and the comic book companies, even the major comic book companies, stopped worrying about newsstand sales and started worrying about the comic book store sales, and started featuring all their stuff for the comic book stores, and it almost killed them. So you can't do that. You can't go, okay, we're going to listen to 100% to the diehards because that's what we're going to listen to, because you can't do that. But at the same time, you can't just totally ignore the diehards either. There has to be kind of an in-between, and I think pro wrestling is like on this side of it, and I think the comic book industry was on this side of it, and I think you need that kind of middle ground. But other than that, I do think that what Bill and Doug said was good. Like I said, hopefully it gets some traction. Hopefully all of this stuff. One other thing that did bother me, and this was stuff that I got, comments I myself had, so this is kind of a response to that, and I was going to planning on kind of maybe doing this anyways, because I've done it the last 3 years, or 2 years, which was, people said, they did a better job than Truth Slayer, even though they continually said this exact same thing that I've said for 3 years, and that they were, because they were pointing out flaws, but at the same time they were saying how to fix the flaws. Well, I thought that I had done that before, but maybe not. But anyways, basically I'm going to do what I did 2 years ago, what I did to an extent last year, where I'm going to go from Slammiversary to Bound for Glory, going to take the current roster, going to fantasy book, how I would book from Slammiversary to Bound for Glory, my own cards, my own this, my own that, and I'm going to kind of explain how, why, the guys I would use, the guys I wouldn't use, the guys that I would say, hit the road, I don't want anything to do with you, you don't need to be in this company, you're wasting too much money, that sort of thing. So, you're going to see that. It's not going to be me doing any reviews, it's going to be me just fantasy booking and how, I would fantasy book from now till, Bound for Glory, basically. So, just that's out there too. So, anyways, that's all I really wanted to talk about, because a lot of people have been messaging me about all that stuff, and hopefully, I'm hoping sometime this week I'm finally going to be able to do a review I've been wanting to do for a while now, and I'm having to trudge. Shouldn't say trudge through a DVD, but DVD has a lot of matches on it, a lot of long matches on it, and there's matches on it that you just can't watch one right after another either. Not that they're bad, they're just that good. But and I do want to do a review on that. So I'll be doing that too. So anyways, with that, I'm out. Have a good one, and